You have heard it before. Stories of people who win the lottery overnight, fortunes appearing out of nowhere, luck they call it, chance they say. But what if it is not chance at all? What if the lottery is not random? What if Neville Goddard once shared a secret formula? A formula so powerful, so immediate, that he rarely spoke of it again. Tonight, you are not here by accident. You are here because your imagination has guided you, because something inside of you already knows. That wealth, unexpected, miraculous wealth, is closer than you believe. Neville taught that your imagination creates reality, not tomorrow, not one day, but now. And there is a hidden practice, a simple yet radical method that can shift your entire destiny in the silence of a single night. This is not about theories. This is not about vague affirmations. This is about a clear, specific, and direct application of Neville's most guarded teaching, the formula he revealed, then concealed. The method designed for sudden riches, the secret lottery method. So tonight you will discover it. And more than that, you will learn how to use it. But first, breathe. Feel the anticipation, because the secret you are about to hear could change the way you see money forever. If you are ready to unlock this hidden teaching, pause for a moment, click subscribe, because what you are about to hear tonight is only one fragment of Neville's deeper work. And in the videos ahead, we will uncover the rest. You will not want to miss it. Now, let us begin. The secret Neville never spoke of twice. Imagine this. Neville Goddard, standing before his audience in a small lecture hall. The year is the late 1950s. The room is quiet, filled with men and women hungry for answers. He speaks of the imagination. He speaks of faith. And then he lets something slip. For a moment, he steps outside the usual stories of scripture and symbols. And he speaks of money, not in general, not in theory, but directly. He speaks of sudden gain, of lottery wins, of wealth that appears without effort. And then, as quickly as he reveals it, he retreats. He changes the subject. He hides the trail, as if he had said too much. Why? Why would Neville, a man who believed imagination creates all, hesitate to share a method so powerful? Because he knew not everyone was ready. He knew that many seek money without understanding its deeper lesson. And yet, that night, he gave a glimpse, a fragment of the formula. He told his audience that wealth, even sudden wealth, is no different from any other desire. It is simply a state of consciousness. And if you can feel it real, it must come. The problem, Neville said, is not the desire, it is the doubt. Most people imagine once and then collapse into fear. They say, it did not work, and so they prove themselves right. But Neville hinted at something else, a secret use of the imagination, a practice done in silence before sleep, a scene so vivid, so emotionally charged that the subconscious cannot resist. He described it not as wishing, but as living, not as hoping, but as remembering. For the subconscious mind, there is no future, only now, only the feeling of reality. Neville spoke of a man who had once dreamed of sudden riches. He imagined night after night, not the act of winning, but the result, the feeling of celebration, the joy of already having the prize. He slept in the mood of victory. He dreamed himself into wealth, and then, out of nowhere, the event happened. The lottery numbers aligned, and his world changed. This was not coincidence. It was consciousness. Neville's message was clear. If you can create the end within, the means will arrive on their own. The lottery, the opportunity, the circumstances, they are just bridges. What matters is the state you enter before sleep. And this is the part Neville rarely mentioned again. Because to those who hear without understanding, it sounds like magic. It sounds impossible. But to those who dare to test it, it becomes real. So tonight, you must ask yourself, do you want to test it? Do you want to step into the same state that others before you have entered and allow wealth to come, not by chance, but by consciousness? If your answer is yes, stay with me, because in the next chapter, you will learn the exact steps of the formula, the real story. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine you are seated in one of Neville's lectures. The lights are dim, the air is still, and every word feels like it is spoken only to you. Neville begins, not with promises of quick fortune, but with a story that seems almost ordinary, until you realize what it means. He tells of a man, one of his students, who desired sudden money, not a raise at work, not a slow build of savings, but a windfall, a breakthrough, something that would change his life overnight. This man was not desperate, but he was determined. He believed in Neville's teaching that imagination creates reality, and so he decided to put it to the ultimate test. Each night, just before sleep, he entered that quiet, drowsy state Neville called the Bridge of Dreams. And in that state he lived in the end, not the act of buying a ticket, not the act of waiting for numbers, but the scene that comes after. He felt the crisp paper in his hands. He heard the voice of a friend saying, "Congratulations, you won." He allowed himself to experience the joy, the relief, the laughter, as if it had already happened. Night after night he repeated the scene, not with strain, not with effort, but with ease, as though he were replaying a memory that already belonged to him. And then it happened. The numbers aligned, the winnings arrived, and the man who once sat quietly in Neville's audience now lived with the proof. Neville shared this story not to glorify money, but to demonstrate a truth. Your imagination, once assumed as real, must harden into fact. Yet notice something important. Neville did not linger on this teaching. He told the story, and then he moved on, almost as if he regretted revealing it, almost as if he feared that his audience would chase money alone and miss the deeper treasure. But you are different. You are listening not with greed, but with curiosity. You are not here simply for wealth, but for evidence, for proof that your imagination holds the key to shaping reality. And if money, sudden, impossible money, can be imagined and received, then what else might be possible for you? Think about it. The lottery is only a symbol. It is not the ticket that matters. It is not the numbers. It is the state you enter. It is the way you occupy the end. That student's story is not just his story. It can be yours. Because what one imagines, another can imagine. And what one manifests, another can manifest. But here is the question that matters. Will you apply it? Will you dare to put this formula to the test? Pause for a moment. Ask yourself, if you had nothing to lose, would you not try? Would you not spend a single night living in the scene of your desire? Would you not let yourself taste the victory before it arrives? If your answer is yes, then you are already different from most. Most will listen. Most will nod. Most will dismiss it as fantasy. But a few, a rare few, will practice, and those few will see. So tonight, you stand where that student once stood. You have heard the story. You know it is possible. And now, you must learn the formula itself. Because in the next chapter, I will not only describe it, I will guide you step by step, so you can use it tonight. The formula step by step. Now, you know the story. You know it has been done before. But tonight is not about hearing. Tonight is about doing. So let me guide you, step by step. This is the formula Neville hinted at, the method designed for sudden change, the practice you can use tonight. Step 1, prepare your body. Before you attempt anything, you must be at ease. Lie down comfortably. Let your breathing slow. Allow the weight of your body to sink into the bed. You are not rushing. You are not straining. You are preparing to cross the bridge between waking and sleep. This state, Neville called it the state akin to sleep. It is that moment when you are not fully awake and not fully gone. The body is heavy, the mind is quiet, but awareness is still alive. This is the doorway. Step 2. Choose your scene. This is the mistake most people make. They imagine too much. They try to create long stories, complicated pictures, endless detail, and the mind becomes restless. Do not do that. Neville taught that the scene must be short, simple, a single frame of reality. Think about what would prove your desire has already happened. If it is the lottery, maybe it is the moment you hold the winning ticket. Maybe it is the sound of a loved one saying, "You did it." Maybe it is the feeling of seeing the money in your account. Choose only one small fragment that implies the larger victory. Step 3. Enter the scene. Do not watch it. Live in it. Feel the paper in your hand. Hear the voice congratulating you. Sense the relief in your chest. Let your lips curl into a smile, not because you are pretending, but because your body cannot tell the difference. Remember, the subconscious accepts what you feel, not what you hope. You are not hoping, you are remembering. This is the key. Step 4. Repeat gently. Do not strain, do not force. Simply replay the scene again and again until it feels familiar, until it feels natural, until the line between imagination and memory begins to blur. And then, step 5, drift. Do not try to finish, do not try to control. Allow yourself to fall asleep in the scene. Let the dream carry it deeper into the subconscious, because it is in sleep that the seed takes root. When you wake the next morning, you may feel nothing has changed, but something has. The state has been planted, the subconscious has accepted it, and soon the bridge of events will begin to appear. This is the formula. It is not complex. It is not hidden behind rituals or techniques. It is as simple as living the end before sleep. But simple does not mean easy, because the hardest part is belief. The hardest part is surrender. Now listen carefully. Most people will try this once, maybe twice, and then stop. They will say, "It didn't work," but you must persist. You must remember Neville's words. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and persist in that assumption, for it is in that assumption that your world is changed. If you practice this tonight, you will already be ahead of most. If you practice again tomorrow, you will be unstoppable. And if you are committed, pause for a moment. Write in the comments, "I claim it tonight," because when you declare it, you anchor it, and when you share it, you step boldly into the state. This is the formula, and it is waiting for you to use the hidden power of imagination. You may still wonder, why does this work? How can lying in bed, playing a scene in your mind, possibly change the outer world? The answer is simple, yet most ignore it. Imagination is not fantasy. Imagination is creation. Neville said it clearly. Man is all imagination. What you see, what you touch, what you call reality, it began as imagination. Every building you walk past, every invention you use, every idea you admire, it first existed only in the mind of someone who dared to imagine it real. So why should your desires be any different? When you imagine, you are not escaping reality, you are planting it. You are setting in motion a chain of unseen events. The mind assumes, the subconscious accepts, and the outer world bends to the state you occupy. Science itself has begun to catch up. Neuroscience shows that when you imagine vividly, your brain fires in the same way as if the event were physically happening. Your nervous system does not know the difference. Your body reacts, your emotions respond, and slowly the outer mirrors the inner. Think of athletes who rehearse their victories in the mind before stepping onto the field. Think of musicians who practice entire performances in silence, only to deliver them flawlessly on stage. They are using imagination not as fantasy, but as rehearsal for reality. And here lies the secret. You are already imagining all the time. When you worry, you imagine. When you doubt, you imagine. When you replay failures, you imagine. And then, life reflects it back to you. The difference is not whether you imagine. The difference is how you imagine. Neville taught that the world outside is nothing but yourself pushed out. Your circumstances are not enemies, they are mirrors. They show you what you have accepted inwardly. Change the inward, and the outward must follow. This is why the lottery method is not truly about the lottery. It is about proving to yourself the law of assumption. If you can imagine sudden wealth into existence, then you can imagine health. You can imagine love. You can imagine freedom. Money is only the symbol. The deeper gift is power. Power to create, power to transform, power to live as the author, not the victim of your story. And yet, few dare to use it because it feels too simple, too invisible, too strange. But you, tonight, you know better. You understand that your imagination is not to be ignored. It is the workshop of creation. It is the altar where every prayer is answered. It is the seedbed of your future. So if you have doubted before, if you have wondered, why hasn't it worked for me? Ask yourself this: did you truly live in the end? Or did you only wish? Did you assume with faith? Or did you test with doubt? Because imagination responds not to hope, but to conviction, not to curiosity, but to certainty. And when you occupy that certainty, even for a moment, the world begins to shift. So tonight, do not see imagination as play. See it as power. Use it as power. Because that is what Neville wanted you to know. And now that you see it, we must face the next truth. Why so many fail. Why even those who try the method give up too soon. That is what we uncover in the next chapter. The mistake most people make. Now you know the formula. You know the power of imagination. And yet, here is the truth few will tell you. Most people will fail, not because the method is weak, not because the law does not work, but because they sabotage themselves. Let's talk about the most common mistake. The moment they finish imagining, they rush to check. They look for signs. They watch the lottery numbers. They wake up anxious, scanning the outer world, desperate for evidence. And in doing so, they undo the work. Because what they are truly saying is, I don't believe it yet. I need proof. But imagination does not respond to doubt. It responds to faith. It responds to persistence. Think about a seed planted in the soil. Do you dig it up every morning to see if it has grown? No. You trust the process, you water it, you wait, and in silence, beneath the surface, it takes root. The same is true with this formula. The seed you plant before sleep is the seed. If you leave it alone, it will grow. If you smother it with fear, it will die. Neville said, do not condition the ways and means, simply go to the end. But many can't resist. They try to control the how. They obsess over tickets, numbers, strategies. They place their faith in the outer world, when the outer world is only the echo of the inner. Another mistake is forcing the scene. They imagine with strain. They tense their minds, repeat mechanically, and call it practice. But the subconscious is not moved by effort. It is moved by feeling, by ease, by naturalness. Ask yourself, when you remember a moment from your past, do you force it? Do you struggle to replay it? Of course not. It arises effortlessly. It feels familiar. It carries emotion. That is how your imagined end should feel, like memory, not fantasy, like something that has already happened, not something you're trying to make happen. Another trap is impatience. People imagine for one night, maybe two, and when nothing changes, they quit. But persistence is the golden rule. Neville said, persist until it becomes fact. Not wish, not hope, fact. And here is something else, fear. Some imagine the scene of victory, but then immediately counter it with fear. What if I don't win? What if it never happens? What if I'm wasting my time? Do you see what happens here? They have planted two seeds at once, one of victory, one of defeat, and the stronger seed will grow. So what must you do? You must be ruthless with your inner world. You must starve the doubts. You must water only the vision. You must dare to believe, even when nothing appears to change. Because change begins invisibly. It begins in silence. It begins in imagination. And only later does it bloom in the outer world. Now listen carefully. If you avoid these mistakes, you separate yourself from the crowd. You become one of the few who not only hears Neville's words, but lives them. And when you live them, results must follow. So do not check, do not force, do not doubt, do not quit. Instead, imagine with ease, feel with faith, persist with patience, and trust the unseen. And if you are still here, still listening, it means you are ready. You are one of the rare few who will persist. If that's true, type in the comments, "I persist until it hardens into fact." Declare it now, because persistence is the difference between wishing and creating. And in the next chapter, you will discover how to use this formula tonight, step by step, in real practice. The practical guide for tonight. You have listened, you have understood the formula. But tonight, it is time to practice, not tomorrow, not one day, tonight. So let me guide you into it. First, prepare your space. When the day is ending, turn off the noise, dim the lights, silence the distractions. This is not just sleep, this is creation. Your bed becomes the temple. Your mind becomes the altar. Lie down, feel your body sink into the mattress. Let your arms rest, heavy and calm. Breathe slowly, breathe deeply. With each exhale, release the tension of the day. Now, allow yourself to drift. You are not forcing sleep. You are inviting it. You are entering the sacred state between wake and dream. That soft edge Neville called the state akin to sleep. And here, in this quiet, you begin. Close your eyes. Bring to mind the scene. Not a movie, not a long story. Just one short frame. The proof of your desire fulfilled. It might be the weight of the winning ticket in your hand. It might be the smile of a loved one saying, "You did it." It might be the sight of your bank account filled with numbers that once felt impossible. Choose one, only one, and now step into it. Do not watch it like an outsider. Live in it. Hear the words as if spoken to you. Feel the paper in your hand. Let the emotion rise naturally. Joy, relief, laughter. The sense of victory that cannot be denied. Hold the feeling. Breathe into it. Let it expand. And when doubt whispers, ignore it. Return to the scene. Return to the end. Now repeat, but gently, not as work, not as struggle, as memory, as if you are replaying something that has already happened, something you are simply recalling with gratitude. And soon, the line between memory and imagination begins to blur. It feels real. It feels done. And your body responds. Your chest is lighter. Your face smiles. Your heart beats as though you have already won. Stay here, stay in this frame. Not long, not forced, just enough to let the subconscious receive it. And when you feel drowsy, let go. Allow yourself to drift into sleep inside the scene. Do not end it. Do not close it. Let it carry you into the dream, because it is in sleep that the seed takes root. It is in sleep that the subconscious begins its work. And when you wake, you may feel nothing has changed, but it has. Something invisible has shifted. The world has begun to rearrange itself around your new assumption. Now here is your commitment. Do not treat this as an experiment. Do not do it once and walk away. Do it tonight. Do it tomorrow. Do it until the desire hardens into fact. This is not ritual. This is not superstition. This is law. And if you are ready to practice tonight, pause here. Type in the comments, "I begin tonight." Let it be your declaration. Let it be your agreement with yourself. Because the moment you decide, the moment you commit, the bridge of events already begins to form. And remember, This is not only about the lottery, it is about proof. Proof that imagination creates reality. Proof that you are not at the mercy of chance, but the author of your story. Tonight, when you lie down, you will no longer just sleep. You will plant. You will create. You will command reality from within. And in the next chapter, you will learn the final secret. Why Neville said the true prize is not the money, but something far greater, the true secret beyond money. By now you understand the method, you know the formula, and tonight you will put it to use. But listen closely. The real secret was never the lottery. The money is only the surface, the ticket is only the symbol. Neville hinted at this many times. He knew that if you could believe in wealth, you could believe in anything. And if you could manifest sudden riches, you would realize the truth. It was never about the money. It was always about you. You see, the greatest treasure is not the prize itself. It is the discovery of power. The discovery that you are not a victim of chance. You are not subject to luck. You are not waiting for fate to smile upon you. You are the one creating. You are the one imagining. And imagination is the cause of everything. This is the hidden gift Neville wanted you to uncover. Money may come, opportunities may appear, fortunes may fall into your hands, but the real wealth is knowing that you command the process, that life responds to your inner state. Because once you know this, the game changes forever. You no longer beg, you no longer doubt, you no longer chase. You assume, you persist, you create. Think about it. If you can win the lottery in imagination and see it unfold in reality, what else could you imagine? Health restored, relationships healed, dreams fulfilled, peace of mind, freedom of spirit. Do you see now? The lottery method is just a doorway, a demonstration, a way to convince the doubting mind that the law is real. And once you prove it to yourself, you are unstoppable. So tonight, as you drift into sleep, yes, imagine the ticket. Yes, feel the victory. Yes, claim the wealth. But do not stop there. See the deeper truth. Feel the power that lies in your own imagination. Know that if you can create money from the unseen, you can create anything. This is what Neville meant when he said, dare to believe in the reality of your assumption and watch the world play its part. Because the world will play its part. People, events, circumstances, they will align. They will arrange themselves. They will deliver the end you have already accepted. The money may come, or something even better may arrive. Something you could not have planned. Something greater than you expected. So never cling to the symbol. Cling to the power. Rest in the knowing that you are the operant power, and nothing is impossible to you. Now pause. Let this truth sink in. This was never about the lottery. It was about proving the law. It was about remembering who you are. And if you understand this, you are already richer than you realize. So as we move into the conclusion, I ask you this. Are you ready to live? Not as one who hopes, but as one who knows. If your answer is yes, write it below. I know my imagination creates reality. Say it. Claim it, because the moment you accept it, your world begins to transform. And in the final chapter, we will seal this truth with reflection, with vision, and with the challenge that will carry you beyond tonight. And now, we come to the end. But the end is only the beginning. Tonight, you have heard the secret Neville Goddard rarely shared. The formula for sudden gain, the method to use imagination with such power that reality itself bends. But remember this. The true treasure is not the lottery. It is not the money. It is not the prize. The true treasure is the awakening to your own power. The realization that what you imagine, you become. What you assume, you attract. What you persist in must harden into fact. So as you prepare for sleep tonight, take this with you. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are not a prisoner of luck. You are the author, you are the creator, you are the dreamer of your world. And if you dare to imagine boldly, if you dare to persist faithfully, if you dare to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, then nothing, absolutely nothing is impossible for you. Pause here. Let that truth sink into you. Say it inwardly. I am imagination. I create my reality. Because when you claim it, you step into the life you have always longed for. Now, here is my challenge for you. Do not wait. Do not say, I will try tomorrow. Do it tonight. When you lay your head down, when your body softens, when your mind drifts, enter the scene, live the end, fall asleep in the wish fulfilled, and tomorrow, when you wake, continue to carry the state, walk as though it is already done, think as though it has already happened, live as though the unseen is unfolding for you, because it is. This is the great secret Neville passed down, not a technique for the few, but a law for all. And the law is simple. Imagination creates reality. If this video has opened your eyes, if you feel the power moving within you, pause now, subscribe, because this is only the first of many secrets we will uncover together. Secrets. Neville left hidden in plain sight. Secrets that once applied will transform not just your finances, but your relationships, your health, your identity, your entire destiny. And let me tell you, the next teaching is even deeper, even more hidden, even more powerful. You will not want to miss it. But for now, tonight belongs to you. Tonight, you step into the mystery. Tonight, you test the law for yourself, not in theory, not in talk, but in practice. So close your eyes with faith, imagine with certainty, sleep with conviction, and wake knowing that the bridge of events has already begun. Because once you plant the seed in imagination, reality has no choice but to bloom. And one day soon, perhaps sooner than you think, you will look back at this night, and you will say to yourself, this was the moment it all changed. This was the night I dared to imagine. This was the night I discovered who I really am. This was the night I stopped waiting for luck and started creating my destiny. So go now, practice, test it, and remember, you are not waiting for the miracle. You are the miracle. Good night. And may your imagination lead you to everything you desire.